For this Friday, I wanted to do a master class, which would be a follow-up to the previous video I did on wheelchair use in medical appointments. Now, the key to this video is that if this is your first time here with us. My name is Lisa. I'm the host for all these videos. And every Friday we have a master class about some topic, skills, something that might be very important for you or for a loved one. So welcome to Friday, and I'm hoping to see you again. So feel free to subscribe if you would like notifications of the next videos, and especially don't miss Fridays. This video is that your wheelchair never can be an exam table. Now, you might say, but Lisa, my doctor always pokes me, when I'm in my wheelchair. And that is so wrong. So wrong. Because according to the ADA, they need to have medical equipment that works for you. They need to have a scale if they want to calculate your weight. They need to have a scale for wheelchair users in which you can just roll on, and they subtract, if they know their math, they need to subtract the number of the weight of your wheelchair with the total number, and they will get your weight. Magic. Now, for exams, they need to have an accessible exam table. Now, why all this? It's something called, in the United States, the ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act. All doctors know this. The nurses know this, and the aides know this. So it's not a mystery, folks. It is not a mystery. So you have rights, and you should, making sure my microphone doesn't fall off again. So truly you need to speak up and just, you have a few options. If you really like the clinic where you're at, great. But then, verbally start having these conversations with the doctor and say, you really can't examine me very well, from my wheelchair. You can acknowledge that, I can acknowledge that. So I'm requesting that you request your board or your building manager or whatever it is to get an exam table that is accessible for me to scoot over, lie down for you, and for you to really examine me, because I'm a person with a disability and I'm in a wheelchair. So that has a whole bunch of implications for the doctor and the care that doctor needs to give you. So truly, you're not responsible. It is the doctor, the clinic, the manager that manages that building for the clinic, or the board. I don't know who, but it's not the doctor either. The doctor can't buy those things. It needs to be the organization above, the doctor. So if the doctor says, no, you're absolutely right, and I'm going to work this out, and I will keep you posted as to what happens, if they go that route, then excellent. If they start saying, oh, we don't have, then that's when you need to write a letter and say, you know what, I'm going to write a letter, an official letter that'll take it off your table, and I will send it to, where do I need to send it, doc? And she needs to be able to tell you, where to send your letter. and express in the letter that you really like the doctor, you really want to stay in the clinic, but you use a wheelchair, And you need accessible equipment at the clinic. Period. No buts or ands about it. So here in the United States, we have the ADA. In Canada, they have their disability laws. In Europe, they also have disability laws, and I think they're pretty strict in Europe. But they also are in Canada and the US. So this needs to be addressed. At least address it. If nothing happens, then you know for sure you need to change clinics. For sure. And it's sad, I have left clinics that could not address my needs. Because the doctor wasn't trained, because the doctor didn't know, because the doctor kept on having to consult because she or he didn't know. So when it comes to that, then really you need to find a better place, a place that's accessible for you to be able to get the things you need, either to a bigger clinic, to a hospital maybe, to get all your services perhaps in one place. And that's what I did. I'm in a large hospital complex, and they have all kinds of clinics. So I'm connected to basically to two big clinics. And the hospital I rarely go to now because they have equipment in each building that, makes it accessible for me. So they have there what I need. And, sometimes I'll say, accessible table for the next appointment. So then they'll pick out a room that they have an accessible exam table. So know that you have rights and your health depends upon the doctors, the nurses, and the aides using this and knowing that, we have a patient with a wheelchair and we have other patients with wheelchairs. We just haven't said much about it. And you can be the one to speak up and say, hey, I really want to stay here, but this is getting a little ridiculous. Let's make this push to get accessible equipment for me. It is required by law, so let's just do it, in the shortest amount possible. Because otherwise, I might have to move to another clinic, and I don't want to. But if that's the bottom line, then I will. So you got to put it in kind words, in understanding words, but also it is the responsibility of the clinic to do this for all their patients. So I just wanted to put this out there, so that that you have rights, that you need to be examined at the same quality as all the other patients, and that is based on a law that the doctor knows very well if they're here in the US or Canada or Europe, and they have that responsibility to take action and get something in the shortest amount possible to be compliant with the law and to provide you with the best medical care possible. Does that make sense? I think it does. And being in a wheelchair does have implications for other aspects of your health that need to be checked appropriately. So you tell me. So if you are at a clinic right now in which you have difficulties, number one, express your need. If no action, then go to number 2, which is to write the letter. And number 3, if nothing happens, then you move. And then with those 3 steps, you did everything possible and the clinic did not respond. They're in violation of the ADA law. You move. So, which is hard. I know changing doctors is not easy. I get it. But you as a wheelchair user need to understand that Your health depends upon it. So try it out. Let me know how it goes, and I'll see you very soon.